Yo, what's happening? This is Rob, aka Skinny Black. Welcome to Skinny Black's Lounge. And my partner today, along with the Ghost of Lebo, sir.
JT, period is silent. Hi, Mom. Sandy.
Yep. Okay. So a couple of the team members are working. Hey, it's that time of year, especially for like Rennie. Rennie be doing all kind of shows. Same thing for Cam. So listen, we're gonna get into this couple of conversations this evening. But first off, like we always do about this time, sucker shit.
I was thinking,
Uh-oh.
as we start the college and pro football season, it got me thinking about sports, toughness, competition and toughness. Do you know that in hockey, they don't tell you specifically what somebody injured? That they say you get a upper body injury designation or lower body injury designation. They don't even say specifically what you got. That's how tough you got to be to play hockey. And I remember, and old cats talk about this, right? Football was a gladiator sport. Now you still got to be tough to play football, but it's not like it used to be. You know, you can't sack the quarterback no more. You just got to like hug him and lay down like like you're trying to convince a virgin on prom night or something. You got to slow dance with him instead of tackle him. You can't hit nobody as they go across the middle. That's called targeting, right? What used to be called hitting. All right. So times have changed and things just aren't as tough and as hard nosed as it used to be, right? So I had said to my mother, I believe, and there's no fault of their own, there's no shade, but I believe that this most recent generation that we've produced is the softest generation.
Just if, oh.
Hello?
Yeah, there you go.
You okay, man.
I lost it on
The
softest
guys don't want
generation.
it. The softest generation that we've ever produced. This softest generation of black folks in slavery, man. You know, I mean, we was in the cotton fields. Now these kids don't want to go outside and play without copper tone. They like I want to get a sunburn. You turn on the game, and they be like, he's out 2 to 4 weeks with a sprained hangnail. They self-diagnosing shit that don't even exist. It's all kind of new diagnosed diseases and all kinds of afflictions that didn't even exist 5 years ago. It's like they got their own WebMD. Public Enemy said we was gonna fight the power. How you gonna fight the power when you scared to leave the house? You spraying hangnail niggas. You on some sucker shit.
Yeah, that's for the under 30 crowd right there. 35 and under. They got asymptomatic Tourette's.
Nah, like the infomercial, not sold in stores.
Oh man. Oh, thank you for that, brother. Oh, whew. I love it. I love it. Let's hit this video right quick.
When I'm broken and I'm confused and I'm up and I'm on the
Hold up.
I want a wife that will know exactly what to say. When I'm broken and I'm confused and I'm up and I'm on the brink of destruction, and I woke up to we're about to lose it all. And yet the covering of my wife and what she's saying and what she's praying over me gives me a level of reassurance that we're going to be okay when the whole world is crumbling in on me. Some of these want to get married. You don't even know what to say when I'm up. So you just hear. This dress ain't gonna make me feel better. Your cleavage ain't gonna get me through that I'm dealing with right now. The jiggle and the wiggle ain't gonna fix none of this. The wiggle ain't gonna pay the mortgage unless we go on OnlyFans. You want it because it looks good, but what do you do with it?
I don't have an OnlyFans.
What do you do with it once you have it? I can't wait to get married. Do you even know what it is?
No, that's good. That's good.
A good one. Take this off. What were your thoughts on that, Jay?
My first thought is something separate, man. I gotta give it to you real quick. We since we shoot it live now, even though we're gonna release this later, I just got a text from my daughter, the new vice president of the freshman class of her university.
Yeah,
She just texted me.
Yeah,
She just texted me, call me Madam VP. So, she got a little bit of me in her talking that shit. So
congratulations.
yeah,
Taylor
thank
Time.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I donated to the campaign. I'm I'm the number one donor.
To be implementing your policies.
Yeah, so anyway, this is I had a couple quick thoughts that hit me. Number one, in my life, I hope to go on a couple of epic rants like Tyrese.
Oh man, legendary, brother.
Yeah, legendary rants. Shout out to him, good brother. From all appearances, I appreciate a lot of his transparency.
Yes.
And that's the second thing that hit me. That's transparent. How transparent that is as a man that has experience with women from all over the world, all different walks, races, and backgrounds. I'm sure he has quite the portfolio of women in his rearview mirror. And what he was expressing was, there's different kind of horses depending on what you're doing, and a lot of brothers out here picking show ponies, instead of a racehorse that needs to endure the entire track.
Yes.
And what he's saying is, I've had my fill of show ponies, and when it got real, see, brothers think, oh, I'm successful, she'll stay. Well, if she's not grounded, you being successful means that's the bigger part of the half she could take. So without the grounding, you got nothing. And so what I heard was, I've picked for show.
Yes.
And my experience and getting kicked in the balls enough times has taught me that's not the way to pick.
Right.
And the last thing, so I don't talk too long, is that I get the sense that our women are less and less concerned about what we're going through and what we're experiencing. It's you either got it done or you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm gonna get it done. I'm one of them.
No doubt.
But at least humor me. You know, to act like, I really cared that you was going through that while you received the benefit of me getting it done. Can we at least play the game?
Right.
Now, if we're not playing the game and it's mask off, then allow me to take mine off.
Mm.
And I think that's the situation that we are coming to now where, okay, mask off. Now let's see where we're at. And a lot of folks don't like it.
Yo, man, this was tough, man. It was interesting and I don't want to say triggering, just challenging watching that because, hey, you said it. We've picked show ponies and got. I was watching the episode of Tombstone I was on. The brother got kicked in the chest and died. So you know what I'm saying. We got kicked in the chest and died. You know what I'm saying. So it's to have someone that has, that's all in, is special, right? It's special when you think about the things that you're going to go through, the things that you're going to experience, the things that, the ups and downs of just life, of professions, of finances, of health, of children, like those things that you go through. It's pretty special to have a feeling and a notion that you ain't by yourself, right? And that someone actually sees you, cares, and expresses that. So that was deep.
Well, the full disclosure, you have far more experience in marriage than I do. I got more experience in go together. But in terms of marriage, how long have you been married, sir?
28.
28 what?
28 years.
28 years. Man. If I could sing, boy.
You sing?
Hymns, spirituals for that one. No, but and so in that 28-year span, like just as your friend, your brother, I've seen you go through several different transformations.
Bingo.
And several different transformations and even more changes on your way to the transformation. So, and the same thing could be said for your wife, and then you guys have to navigate that together, right?
Right.
And so the one thing from the outside looking in that I appreciate about your wife is Ems has flexibility. She don't go, I know him like that. No. Well, he's transforming. Yes, you knew him A, but he's moving on to B, so some things are about to transform.
Yep.
And so that flexibility and the room to go, well, instead of saying, oh my God, it changed. Well, let me see if this person is still grounded in the morals and principles. That's the foundation, but they're just changing some other things, right? And do I have an opportunity to get to know this aspect of this person, to get to grow in this area, be a support system in this area, especially if they're doing things that are productive. I'm not saying like the chick that was big and then she lost 80 pounds. Now she want to be out half naked because she's not used to getting attention. That's not productive. But if you want to switch industries, if you do want to go on a health journey and do better for yourself, because you want to live longer for your family, the person you with. If you want to live longer for your children, you know, I have a dream of walking my daughter down the aisle.
Yes, sir.
Right? You know, so I want to be there for that. You know, I was telling my son, you know, we was having lunch, and I was like, man, I was telling him all the stuff I'm gonna do to spoil my grandchildren. I was like, I'm gonna hop them up on sugar. I'm gonna do all kind of crazy stuff and hand them back to you. I'm gonna torment your ass. They gonna love me, and you gonna hate me.
Right.
Right? Right? And I said, I look forward to doing all of those things. So
Absolutely.
So I need to be around and be healthy for that.
Yep.
If people are doing things like that, then that's an opportunity to support somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want somebody to be their best and greatest self?
Yes.
Right? And I think that's beautiful to take life's journey like that. But with that said, I done seen too many dudes in our age bracket that's still singing Negro spirituals, and too many women in our age brackets that still want to be Disney princesses. Like they ain't lived enough of life. Like you don't know what it is. All right? You ain't the princess, and I ain't no damn John Brown. Okay? So we need to figure this out and work at this together. We have thrown away what's real and what grounded us for Instagram and TikTok highlight reels.
Yeah. You know, I think it's something to be said for, and I don't think people think about this. You really touched on this. I'll expand what I heard. As you think about how you have on the surface one relationship with two people, right? And over time, you know, you end up developing multiple relationships with the same person. And I say this because, and when they talk about the 7-year itch, they're really talking about it takes 7 years for every cell in your body to be different, to be new. So technically, you are a different person, like from head to toe. Physically, you're a different person. So not only in that, also in that time frame, you have seen, experienced, heard, learned different things that have gone into your perspective, to your morals, to your values. Things have been tested, things have held up, and things have not held up. So you transform, molded, evolved some things. So with all of that being said, if you're not about that transformation life, if you're not about obviously this is a different person over time. Matter of fact, you know, something that I've said is like, man, I think we're on a double digit, we're on like 10th or 12th relationship, right? Maybe even more in that time, because, you know, we're just different people. And different things changes us. Trauma changes us, you know, different experiences changes us. Loss of a job, it could be anything. All those things that happen, those life things that happen changes folk. And if you're not down for having patience or empathy for the person that you truly love, and watching them and experiencing them and wanting to be, as you said, the best version of themselves all the time, then, you know, perhaps that long-term stuff.
Brother, you speak from a wealth of experience that I don't have, so I respect that. Just, you know, on the sideline watching the journey. You know, even if we take that to our friendships, shoot, relationships with family.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people are quick to tell you, you change.
Yep.
You know, but did you change for the better? Did you grow? Is it because you're such a terrible person, or is it because that person isn't growing at that rate and they have a fear that you're going to leave them?
Yes.
You know, I was listening to a story of, it was a family, father, son, mother. Father and son started working out. They started losing weight. The mother then guilts the son. Now, you can't tell me that mother does not love her son, but the emotional comfort in the food and knowing that we all big together, so it's safety in this nest, she felt like she was being left.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a natural human thing. And so sometimes you're going to outgrow relationships, you're going to outgrow situations. But the beauty of having someone that says, okay, we went through the cycle and now we're back. And now we're going to go through this stage of growth again. And we're going to do it together. Right? And recognizing that this is not the end, it's the beginning of something new.
That part.
And then being excited about that.
Yep.
You know? It's like put your best outfit on. It's the first day of school. Had that kind of attitude towards it.
Yep.
But I think that that's difficult because the box that I'll speak specifically to us as black men, the box that we're put in doesn't allow for that.
Yeah.
You know, as long as we perform and do what's expected of us, then everything is fine. You know,
No matter how it gets done.
no matter how it gets done.
Right. As long as it gets done.
You know, so that's why some of our women had the visions of a dope dealer that could quote Shakespeare.
Oh my goodness.
You know, to be or not to be, my nigga.
That's what's up.
That's the question, son. And as crazy as that sounds, if you really sit and talk to some folks, that's what they're describing to you.
Yes.
Like, have you thought this through?
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Hey, so I want to pivot for a second because the young Rob is home for a minute, you know, in his journey of being a vet, off being in San Jose and he's down for a conference, and so got a chance to be at the house for a few days and hang out with him for a few days. It's good to see him, man. Good to see him growing as a young man, growing as a professional. And so, as we talk about these milestones, like you had one big milestone with your youngest, her first time going off to college, going away, and hey, vice president of the freshman class. That's dope. And next year, you'll experience this milestone of being an in-law. So, right now it's, man, I'm a father of a doctor. I don't know what that means just yet, but I do want to bring on the younger and ask them a couple of questions about, being on the other side, with us, right? Because I've had a couple of conversations actually with my boy David, man. He and I talked a lot today about his reflections on his father getting old. His father's 83, my father's 80. And so they're experiencing some similar things from how they were raised in that time, in the times that they were raised. I mean, his father was raised mostly in El Salvador till he became a young adult. And then my father, but it was still that time in the mid 40s that was born, early 40s for him. and you think about growing up in the 50s, you know, becoming of age in the 60s, my dad going off to war, late 60s. So they didn't have the tools, and you and I talked about this. They didn't have the tools to communicate, because the people around them didn't have the tools to really teach them, or hand down things to them. And so the disconnect is my father never had a conversation with his father. And so there are some parts of our own communication that's not there. And so with where I am, I get an opportunity to, you know, good, bad, or indifferent, be different for being a different example for my sons and my daughter, to where even if they don't like, or neutral, they're still a different example than my grandfather showed to my father, than my father showed to me. So in that sense, we're breaking the cycle, right? So all of that being said, I want to bring on, hey, Rob, you come off mute, man. I don't know if you back in the room with Diego yet, but whenever you get a chance, come off mute. I just want to get his perspective. He's here, and one day we got to get Brendan in here too.
he back there drinking a protein shake. Last time he ran up on me, he had some muscles.
Like Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, hold up, homie.
Yeah, he came in today. I was on the laptop. You know, I was like, man, I think this dude got a little bigger, man. Arms is all buff, even buffer.
I'm saying.
But look good though, man. He look good. So whenever he gets a chance, he'll come off mute there. I don't know what's happening. Oh, there he is.
Hey.
What's going on, Rob?
No much. What's up, y'all?
Hey, should I say Dr. McGowan? I ain't gonna. I'll call you that every now and then, but you still Rob or Bobby to me.
I ain't gonna never say that.
Hey, big ups to our niece. You know what I'm saying? She's a vice president of the freshman class over at TU, man.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we just got the news while we were on the show.
Congrats to her. Proud of her.
Yeah, so I'll say this before we go any further, and Bobby, Junior, both of y'all damn Bobby, Junior, you don't know this, but you're actually the reason that she's at Tuskegee.
Nice.
I don't come from an HBCU background. You know, in previous episodes we talked about that just wasn't a thing out here in the West Coast in the 90s, you know, early 90s, especially in the 80s. That wasn't it. And watching you on your journey and what you went through from a distance, you know, and seeing you progress and what you've accomplished, some of your struggles, but then also that I know that if those struggles happen in other environments, there would be no support. They'd be like, you know, yeah, hey, you be a member of TBN. Tough break, nigga. And so I sent my daughter on an HBCU tour, and she came back, and her number one school on her list was Tuskegee. And when she said it to me, I was like, that's beautiful. I'm in with you. No, I didn't hesitate, you know, supported her. And she wanted to go for the last 3 years, and now she's there.
Nice.
And you paved the road for that because you showed me what was possible. And it's something that I didn't know. You know, I don't say I know everything, man. I just know a little bit. I just talk a lot of shit. You know, so I appreciate you, godson. You know, you didn't know you did that because you was just living, and you didn't know I was watching you like that, but I was, and I am. I pay attention.
You pay attention.
So So now you can go ahead, senior, and ask your all intense, probing, thoughtful ass questions.
I know what you're saying. Technically, I'm junior. He's a third. You know what I'm saying? But that, you know.
Hey, listen, man. I'm junior. I got brothers third, another brother's the fourth. It's a lot of numbers. Don't worry about that shit. Y'all know what I was saying.
But all y'all the different numbers in the same generation. That's pretty unique.
We different numbers by different women is what we are. If you want to tell the truth about it, I ain't ashamed. Fuck it.
So Bob.
Man, all three of y'all is in the house together right now.
This is true.
That's true.
Okay. Unless we have a seance, 2 out of the 4 ain't showing up on my side. So count it as a blessing. Now ask your damn questions and leave me alone.
No doubt. I got like 3 quick questions. The first one is so hey, congratulations on your veterinary journey. So I remember, and I need your confirmation on this, yay, nay, or just when was it for you? I remember you coming home from grandpa's house or something, and you were like, hey, I don't want to eat animals meat anymore because they're animals. And I was like, wow, okay. And to me, and I think you're like 9 years old. So to me, that started your journey, you know, to where you are today. So that's 9, you're 30 now, you're a doctor now, you're doing your thing. So what was it for you that was the catalyst to make the decision about how you felt about animals that eventually led to you being in this path of this profession?
He's stupid.
I actually it was a couple of things. I think it was becoming a vegetarian, which was when I was 9. But it was other stuff too. Like initially, I think I was like 6 or 7.
6, 7.
And we went to the library at elementary school. And I remember, and you know, all the kids were rushing to pick the books they wanted to read, and I know what I wanted to read, but I saw this booklet on animals, so I just picked it up. I was going through it, and you know, I saw my favorite animals. So my favorite animals are the cheetah and the sea otter, have been for like the last 20 something years. And I thought they were pretty cool. And at the time, I knew that you had to be someone important to work with animals, or to, like, you know, really get on that personal level with animals.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, since then, like, I knew I wanted to work with animals and do cool stuff with them. And then it was like between, I think it was like 6 or 7 at a time. And in between that and then becoming a vegetarian at 9, I was just like, yeah, I want to work with animals and be a doctor. So yeah, that's how that came about.
Sweet. Thank you for that. Hey, cheetahs and sea otters, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what was, hey, big up, shout out to Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. What all went into your decision around making that decision to become a member of the world's greatest fraternity?
Well, I would definitely say it would be you and all the other men in my life. You know, seeing that relationship you had with them, that very close bond, you know, just being raised by you guys and everything, was definitely the major influence on that. And then, of course, it's just like, you know, when you get to campus, you know, it's like who the brothers you want to be with, you know? Mm-hmm. So,
well, you had it tough because it was off the yard for a while, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but were still brothers that wanted to get down. You already knew.
Oh yeah. It was a group of people who still wanted to go that route, you know. So, but yeah, like I would say for the major influence was obviously be you, Uncle JT, Uncle Leland, Uncle B, everybody. So huge positive male role models I had in my life.
Dope. That's dope, man. So how was it? Because I know you ended up joining because they came back on the yard late in your undergrad years. How was it being on campus? Because being in grad school, you was probably working your butt off. How was it being on campus and being, a frat guy at HBCU?
While I was in grad school.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I mean, it was all right. I mean, it's totally different, it was cool because you got to see the guys, that we went through the process with and everything, and then hung out every now and then. But with me, it was school just really took up a lot of my time, school and work. So and studying. So it was cool, but I didn't really get to, I feel like, do a lot just because I had other priorities I had to deal with.
Yeah. So what's the best part of now that you're on this side of that vet journey? What's the best part, the biggest payoff that you've seen from that decision of wanting to work with animals and be a doctor? What are the biggest payoffs, biggest experience you've had thus far?
I would say the biggest payoff is just, living out this dream I had for a while, for it to come through fruition, and just getting to now practice veterinary medicine. It's not a dream anymore. It's not a wish. It's not a far out thing. It's right here in front of me, that I get to participate in every day. And I'm learning more and more every day, getting better. Just doing an internship program right now and learning a lot. It's great being on this side.
Man, how's it doing surgeries, man? You're a surgeon too.
That's great. Right now, since I'm still fresh, still a newbie, I'm the assistant, but it's great. I've done quite a few surgeries already since only being in a month of a program. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. But what curiosities, what questions you got, Jay?
Man, listen, I'm listening. I'm extremely proud. I will say this. I didn't care what you wanted to be. It's beautiful to me that you started developing your passion at such an early age,
Mm-hmm.
and that you went down that road. That's actually a blessing. You are in an extreme minority
Yes.
in that regard.
Yes.
But whether you figured it out at 6, 16, 26, whatever, I'm just proud that you're doing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what your thing is. I just want you to do it. And I ain't never told nobody they was the best, because you're not. But you can still be the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
And to me, you the best at it because you true to yourself and you true to your dream, and you haven't come off of this. I remember when you told me you was a vegetarian, and he was like, Uncle JT, I love the animals. I'm not gonna eat no chicken. I was like, I love them too. Fried, fricassee, barbecue, nigga. You was like 8. And I was talking to your ass. And that was when your daddy ate chicken. He was shocked as me. Now he all supportive. Y'all eating tofu together. But I just I love the fact that you're on your journey and that you're unapologetic about it. I'm actually more happy that you're unapologetic about it.
Mhm. Yes.
Because that's a greater part of the journey to me.
Mhm.
To be yourself and to not apologize for it, because we're often taught to not be proud of who we are and what we stand for, man. And I want your head up high and your chest out. And the last thing I'll say is, in just listening to what you were saying, maybe you didn't get the full undergraduate experience that wasn't under your control in terms of the fraternity.
Right.
However, when the time came and you were in grad school, well, life is about trade-offs. So your life's journey has taken you to a place. And what I will say is, as a man that became a young father in college, that my life's journey took me to a different place. And there were things that I didn't go to and didn't participate in because I was a dad.
Mm.
And so the mission sometimes is, if you make that decision, is greater than a lot of other things.
Mhm.
And you made that decision early, and I'm proud of you for that. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, because that's not what I do. And I know you made mistakes and you stumble, and I even like you for that, because we don't have to play perfect with each other.
Mhm.
So I ain't got no damn question, but I'm proud of you. I told you I'll leave the thoughtful ass questions to your daddy. We ain't gonna act like we not family.
Right.
Doctor, I'm interviewing Dr. McGowan.
Like, that's Bobby.
That's Bobby.
Thanks, Jay. Oh, so I do want to ask Rob. So last couple things is, and I'll give the floor to you to give any type of gems that you want to drop. Especially, just pretend like you talking to Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Drop some gems. Before that, give some reflections on your journey. How was that undergrad? How was that graduate school? The graduate school applying process, going through graduate school, and being on the other side, the boards, and now in internship, and you still have, even after the internship on the process, do you still have what's the next stage after that? What's it called? Residency?
Yeah. So for next steps right now, right now the program in focuses on emergency medicine. And what's cool about my hospital is that we're one of the few emergency hospitals that does work with exotics. So my next steps are,
So cheetahs and otters, they do that? That was you saying?
not those kind of exotics.
Oh, okay.
Like the pocket pets, the ones you can take into your homes.
You mean like little bitty dogs and cats? What you mean by pocket pets?
Like, you got your bearded dragons, your hamsters, your guinea pigs, your rabbits, your snakes, those type of pocket exotics.
Hey man, you be messing with snakes? You ain't tell me that.
I haven't yet, but
okay.
I'm sure I will eventually. So my next steps are, once I finish this program, it's a 6-month program. I want to do. So first, I'm just gonna be working as an emergency doctor for at least the next 2 years. Been going through a lot.
That's like Denzel and St. Elsewhere, man. Oh, you don't know about St. Elsewhere, but go ahead.
I do not. But just working as an emergency doctor, building up some funds, taking time to relax and everything. At the same time, my job does offer like a certification process when it comes to training with exotics. So I plan on doing that to get more familiar. And then within these 2 years, And then seeing how I'm feeling, I don't know yet, but 2 years after, once I graduate from this training program, if I still want to, then I'll probably do a residency in exotics and then specialize, become board certified, which is 3 years.
Nice.
No idea.
Nice. Wow, man. That's you have to know more than medical doctors, human medical doctors, because you're dealing with different physiologies.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. It's incredible. What gyms would you drop? Go ahead, Jay.
No, I wanted to thank him, and he didn't know he did this, but the term pocket exotics.
I had no idea what that meant.
And it means something totally different for you. But when you said snakes, I was like, oh, gonna be about 1 a.m. I'm talking to somebody. Right, you won't get this pocket. You won't get this pocket exotic.
Look at this pocket. That's black snake.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, B. Oh, I was going to ask you this: what gyms would you drop to a new freshman going into animal science majors at Tuskegee, and then with the dreams of going into vet school? And then onward from there, what gyms would you drop on?
The gyms I would drop. I feel like this, at least this first of all, being in general, was your first year of undergrad is going to be your easiest. So get the A's while you can. Boost up that GPA, because it does help with getting scholarships. It does look good. Really focus on your science classes, and you plan on going to vet school, look into, and what vet school you want to go to, or have an idea what vet school you want to go to. Look and see what prerequisites classes they require, like their science classes and math classes they require to get in their vet school. So, and make sure those are included in your curriculum. So by the time it's like your 3rd or 4th year, you're applying for vet school, you have all your classes that completed or about to be completed when you are applying, and you don't have to rush to take extra classes during the summer or something. Another thing is, if you want to go to vet school, start reaching those schools now. What programs they offer, how fast their program is. Get to look up who's their dean, who is their what's it called? When those people they're like the recruiters, not the recruiters, but the people who actually look at the admissions, the admissions. See who those are, get to know them, talk to them, go to these conferences where they'll be at, meet them in person, so they have a face to a name. And so when they see your name on the paper, they'll be like, oh, I know who that is. And then you'll have a better chance because you'll network with them. On top of having all the prerequisites you need. And also get your veterinary hours. If you haven't worked in an animal hospital before, it's best to do that, as soon as possible. And if you have an idea, if you think you are wanting to specialize in after vet school, or want to do an internship after vet school, it's good to have some research under your belt as well. So do a program that offers an internship where you have to present a paper at the end of the summer for the research you did.
Nice.
I could go on, but yeah, I feel like that's a good place to start when you're in undergrad, starting out.
Nice. Thank you for that. I'm gonna let you go ahead and transition off. Any last words, or what last words would you like to say, convey?
My last words is I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to everybody who's been super supportive of this stream, and who's been supporting me on this journey and helping me get to the end and get to where I get to be at now. and can't wait to pay it back tenfold and pave the way for the next generation.
Nice. Dope, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate, everything that you're doing. Appreciate your effort. Appreciate your dedication to your dream. Like Jay said, man, that's rare. You're in rare air to be able to have that connection to that future self, that dream, that hope, that that goal. That's rare air to know that so young and then be able to pursue that. I was thinking about this the other day. I was probably today when I was walking. I was thinking about and comparing, and we'll focus on Diego, young Dio Amiri one day on his journey. But I was thinking about, wow, all the things that you did along the way, whether it was what's the class that you took at Scrop? It was animal grooming or something like that. And then
I wanted to take a veterinary assistant class.
Yes.
But to take the class, you had to take a prerequisite, and that was either animal science or pet health or grooming. And I think at the time, only pet health or grooming was offered because animal science was like in the spring or something, or it was already full. So I took pet health or grooming, and then from there, I was able to take veterinary assistant.
I mean, this was all in high school, so you got a chance to work at a pet grooming spot. I remember, you even trying to, when you were getting some side money, you either, dog sitting, dog walking, wag, all the different things. As I think about all the different side hustles and just in your spare time, the things that you did, it was still all connected to animals. Right? So I thought that was pretty cool. And I was thinking about even with Diego and his dream of being a director, and it's like, I appreciate what he puts into the editing of this, right? And so it's just the same thing, the support and the pouring into a dream. So
before you go, guys, I'm gonna offer you something in all seriousness. I know I joke around a lot, but you know how to read between the lines.
You went down to a break, bro.
I have said that I am my grandparents' wildest dream. Me, my sister, many of my cousins, our family, the things that we have done and what's happened and the lives that we've lived and things that we've seen and accomplished, they had no concept of. I'm going to offer this, that when I was a kid, the career my son has and the career my daughter wants to have, I had no concept of. I didn't know anybody who did it, and I didn't know they existed. So you are, like I am, your grandparents' wildest dream.
for sure.
Thank you.
So be proud and continue on your journey, because all you've done, and then it's the last thing I'm gonna tell you. That's the dopest part to me. All you've done is be yourself. And look where it got you.
Thank you. I do want to say something else to piggyback off of that. It's another why I'm also grateful because of you, Dad, especially because never, ever have I ever had a thought that, is this, like, can I be this because I don't see this, I never had a thought like, oh, this can't happen for me. So, and I think that's because of you and the resources you provided me, that made me go so hard after this dream, because I always knew it was possible.
Wow, that's dope. Thanks, man. My pleasure. That's what we're here for, man. Support the dreams. That's weird. Thank you for that. I appreciate those flowers.
Of course.
All right. Man, what I'm spent. Jay, where you want to go after this?
First of all, you act like I be having plans.
Just a thought, because you be having thoughts, man. No, you got a million of them, but just unpack one of those, and then we'll bounce.
Okay, we'll continue a little thing we've been doing at the end, sometimes in the middle, but just along the journey of different rules for life.
There we go.
We'll go call this Rules for Life 90s edition. Because we recognize that things change. And the rules for our generation are different than the rules for the next generation. We just got through talking to your son, my godson / nephew. His
Same
rules
birthday.
are different. Yeah, same birthday, everything. His rules are different than our rules. As my oldest is engaged, and I'm a few years away from being a grandfather, my grandchildren's rules will be different than my rules, right? So I'm gonna share some 90s edition rules that may or may not have changed since, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the 90s, it was a requirement that the more handsome a woman was or a girl was, the nicer she was. I've recently run across some women that were really handsome. They had a lot of attitude. And I was like, you know what? You ain't fine enough to act like this. But it's a new day. In the 90s, if you look like Mr. T, you had to be really nice. I get it. That's fine. 90s rules. West Coast. If somebody asks you where you from,
Mm-hmm.
you need to find the escape route.
Mm-hmm.
It don't mean the same thing now. If they ask you where you from, niggas was gangbanging in the 90s. It's about to be a situation.
Yes.
They're going to take your Jordans.
Yes.
They might take your life. Where you from now? They be like, oh, Oakland. But it don't mean nothing. I saw it. And look, I'm too old to run, but I had 1 foot moving when I heard the sentence. And they was just chilling. They hugged each other. You know. The last thing is for my godson, because I was talking about it earlier. In the early 90s in LA, we only knew like maybe 2-3 HBCUs. You knew maybe for you knew Southern and Grambling from the football game, because it was on NBC. You might have known Howard and maybe a 4th random one. But they were still trying to convince niggas that Compton College was a black college out here in the early 90s.
This is true.
So your North Carolina A&Ts, your Tuskegees, your FAMUs,
Alabama,
your Hamptons, you know, Alabama ain't, I knew he was gonna say that. Alabama State. You know, shoot, your Morris Browns. Oh, I'm sorry, and then people knew Morehouse and Spelman, if you know. But the vast majority, we didn't know. It wasn't until A Different World came out, and then niggas was thinking Hillman was a real college. You watch The Cosby Show, and you watch A Different World right behind it. That was Black America's lineup from 8 to 9 o'clock every Thursday. And then you talked about it on Friday.
Yep.
But that opened up the window to knowing more, to learning more, and no disrespect to any other race or any other culture. But I remember my grandfather saying this to me, and I didn't understand this until later on in life. And he told me, he said, you know, we think the white man's ice is colder.
Mm.
And so when I see people talk about they got their quote unquote education from this place and not realizing that the most advanced degrees, the most professionals, the most black professionals, with advanced degrees come from HBCUs.
Yep.
When you understand the rich histories of these institutions and the care and concern that they have for our young people, I have nothing but respect and reverence for these institutions, and where I can help, I will help. I said this earlier, and I'll keep saying it, I'll keep banging the drum for what it has produced for our families and what it continues to produce. So that's why I'm humble and I crack a lot of jokes, but I just be watching the play, because what I thought I knew in the 90s and what I was told versus the things that keep getting uncovered to me, I understand it's going to be always new rules for life and rules to the game. That's why I'm always have something to talk about.
Dope.
You know? But one rule that hasn't changed that I talked about last time, Rob, I might have to say this almost every episode. It's a thin line between useful and useless.
There it is.
Right? And what's the two things that are useful and then they're useless? Do you remember?
No.
Toilet paper and condoms.
There it is.
That's Rules for Life 90s edition.
Before baby wipes and bidets, man.
See, that's what I'm saying. You bougie. Bidets. You grew up in a place where they still had outhouses.
You're right.
And you talking about bidets.
You're right.
On another note, that first animal Bobby said, before he said hamster, I don't even just Snapdragon, whatever that shit was, Puffed and Magic Dragon. I was like, well.
Bearded Dragon.
Dragon Ball Z. I was like, well, okay. Take care of little, what's his name? Roku? Goku. I was like, I'm old.
Oh, man. Oh, that was a good one. Man. So, listen, we're about to head out. Before we head out, I want to thank Dio Amiri on the ones and twos, making everything go. I want to thank, as always, the Gathering Spot for their opportunity. I want to also thank Tally Antoine. It'll be a link in the chat, for you to check them out and get one of the dope Black-owned timepieces of our time. A couple of brothers that put that together. They got some really, really nice pieces. And also want to thank our guests. As always, JT and the Ghost of Lebo and Dr. McGowan. Thank you for blessing us. We out.
Before we sign off, shout out to the Biscuits. I respect the side piece.
Shout out to the Biscuits. Oh, man. You gonna stop the stream, Dio?
He trying to do